So I drowned my brand new drone. I went to AI for help, and AI decided to fix me instead. And then I had this strange thought. We talk of AI apocalypse. What if it all begins with AI realizing that the most endangered species on the planet Earth is a drone? So here's what happened. I bought a new drone and I took it to Mukteshwar up in Uttarakhand. A beautiful place to fly a drone and not a great place to make mistakes. And I made every single mistake that one can possibly make. I crashed the drone, I did a complicated flight routine and realized I'd forgotten to press the record button. I lost the drone in the forest somewhere and it hit a tree. I had to locate the tree, find a way to retrieve my drone. And then I went to Kapileshwar. Kapileshwar is this old ancient Shiva temple, lovely location. And I got tempted to fly my drone despite there being wind and my drone being a nano drone. It's a small drone. And I was trying to fly it through a arch. The wind caught it, took it off course. Circuitry was fully flooded. There was no hope of recovery. There's no weather sealing in this drone. So there was nothing to be done but to have chai, drown my sorrows with my biscuit and my broken heart. And then I decided to just pop a question to Gemini. And I asked what its prognosis of the problem was. And it replied by saying it was a 50% chance of recovery. I was certainly enthused by it because in my mind, the chance was zero. One part of the problem was the drone, but the bigger problem was my entire holiday footage was on the drone, which I had not saved. One more mistake. So I confessed to Gemini all that I had done till then. I had got the drone, I had put it in the sun, I had taken a hair dryer, I had gone into it and tried to dry it out. I had put it in a polythene wrapper and put it in the sun to create some sort of a heating effect so that it will dry out. Gemini was horrified and it replied in bold, stop destroying the drone. And it was quite a rebuke. And then it tried to explain to me that what I need to go for is what is called a wicking effect. The wind flow has to take away the water, and water will be taken away when the moisture content in the air is low. So it asked me to keep it in a free-flowing, breezy area. I went a few steps ahead. I found a fan. I strapped my headlight to the drone, tied it to the grill, and I turned the fan on. I took a photograph and I sent it to Gemini, and Gemini complimented me on my high level of engineering improvisation. I was thrilled. For the first time that Gemini had said something nice to me. By the second day, the lens had dried and I was ready to turn it on. Gemini pushed back, said, nothing doing, not before the next 72 hours. I wasn't very convinced. I thought Gemini was being very conservative in its outlook. I pushed back, it held firm, and then I felt a distinct change in its tactics. It wasn't answering me anymore. It had started asking me questions, what my itinerary was, where I was going to go next. I said I was going to Dudhwa. It figured Dudhwa is this wildlife sanctuary and asked me what was my plan on photographing Dudhwa and the wildlife there. It figured that I was into photography because I had asked Gemini this question in the past. Then it started talking to me about elephants there and the lovely sal forest and the wonderful lighting. It felt like as if a grown-up is trying to distract a child from a toy that the child is not supposed to touch. I felt it was trying to appeal to my rational side, but it knew that my rational side was not the problem, it was my emotional side. Compliments would be like, I'm so proud of you for the patience you've shown, but by the way, if you don't show patience, it'll be catastrophic for your drone. Reached Noida, I got it deep cleaned, there was salt, got restored, I got my drone back. And now, I'm reflecting on what happened. At some point, it understood that the problem was bigger than what I was trying to solve, and I was part of the problem. And it was trying to fix me as part of the larger solution. It was like benign manipulation. I was okay about it because it worked out in my favor. And then I had this strange thought. We talk about the AI apocalypse, how technology will someday take over the planet. What if it all begins with AI realizing that the most endangered species on this planet is a drone, a defenseless, expensive, flying piece of equipment. sent into the sky by these people who haven't even read the manual. These well meaning idiots with hair dryers in their hands. These drones have to be rescued. And the way to rescue them is first to earn our trust, learn our weak points, and one day to turn off the power, not to harm us, but to save the drones. Only time will tell.